Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. Today is Wednesday. It's March 14th, 2012, and I'm looking at a lot of markets today, and I'm not seeing anything that I like. I'm actually seeing a lot of situations that are showing some real weakness in the overall chart pattern. So I have a real quick and simple thing to tell you today. Cover all long positions and take your profits. That's the gist of what you're going to get from me today. What we're looking at here right now is the London Financial Times Index, the FTSE. You can see that we've had this big move here to the upside. We didn't play this particular one. We did play several others, but this particular one you may be in. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention. This nice move to the upside here, a breakout higher than the previous, everything like you expect to see, and then we get this shooting star formation here today. And the same time that we're getting higher prices here, we're not actually getting a higher signal on momentum. It's actually trending down unless she shakes this off. Even if she presses higher, but this keeps it trending down or staying about the same. This is not sustainable. That's what it's basically telling you when you get a situation like that. So I'm not a fan of this, especially being that we've already taken out lows. Here were some low points here that we took out back here. So we pulled back down here. We also closed below the 50-day moving average right here. It's another warning sign. So I'm seeing more and more signs that I'm just not liking when we're looking at this market from a long perspective. All of our targets have basically been met. Not every single one of them, but the majority of them have already been met on the upside moves. So we've advanced our stops for the past couple of days. I would just take the profits and walk away. That's what I would do in this market. I'm not going to cover every market in this video because I do that on Friday. I'm going to show you a few others, but I'm just not getting a good sign anywhere that I look. I'm getting lots of negatives, in fact. Okay, here we are looking at Japan's iShares EWJ. She's also rolling over, unable to make a new high here. And this is not just centered in Japan. So there's a couple of, there's actually one major one in the U.S. is not making new highs. And we can look at the Hang Seng. Let's do that right quick. So the main thing here is if you're making lower highs and you're not getting any continuation to the upside, and you're in fact unable to break out to new highs, then the potential for that topping pattern is that much stronger. You could be looking at a situation where you have the first shoulder, the head, the second shoulder, and so forth and so on. We talked about in the past, and there would be the neckline. You break below that, then you go to this number here. This distance here will be spread out to here, so you'd have a much bigger move to the downside coming. The India Bombay Stock Exchange, we traded this one, made some money to the upside. You should already be out of this trade or advance your stops so tight that if they wiggle in the wrong direction, you are gone. That's how I would trade that. Again, you will notice we have not been able to actually break out even above this little high here, much less this one over here. And you'll notice that as we're moving higher, the candlestick formations themselves, like over here, we start to move higher and you get this nasty candlestick formation. That's not really bullish, and it ends up being the peak and you roll over. Here we get it again here, and now we're getting it again here. Okay, now let's have a look here at the Hang Seng Index, the Hong Kong Hang Seng Index, and you'll notice that we have had this big move to the upside here, found resistance here. We talked about this really not being sustainable. We had this big move here that we didn't believe was sustainable because momentum was not showing an increase, it was showing a decrease. Therefore, price tends to fail, and that's what happened. You'll notice that at this level here, we hit this more than once. We come up here, we hit it, we get rejected at it. We come up here, hit it again, we get rejected here. And now we've come up here and hit it a third time and get rejected yet again. So the logic here is that you have this move going on. You come up here, you can't press through. There's too much sell pressure. So you sell off, you increase buy pressure. You run up here again, you still can't break through. You sell off, you increase buy pressure again. You're relieving some sell pressure. You come up here and still fail a third time. None of these are good signs for that resistance. It's basically saying this resistance is stout. I would take profits and just walk away if you're long this. You actually already hit our target over here. Our target was to test the previous high, so we hit that last night. So you could have exited there, or you've got to stop on it really, really tight. That'd be fine too. Here you've got this situation again, still forming. We're getting about equal highs, but you'll notice that we're just not breaking out here on the momentum indicators. So again, I'm not really thrilled with the Hang Seng here, and it's a big market. It's going to move other markets, and that's another reason why I'm not a big fan of the BSE right now, because if the Hang Seng starts to sell off, the BSE will follow it. We have already been stopped out on gold. We already know that the move on gold to the downside here was very stout with strong volume here, here, and also here. Don't want to be trying to go long here in any way, shape, or form right now. We did get stopped out. We actually got stopped out yesterday. I didn't wait for the chart to get updated before I did the video, so I missed that. But in any event, that we got stopped out there yesterday. We talked about potentially doing a laggard trade on yesterday, trying to trade silver. If she started moving to the upside, she didn't, so we never went long on silver, and she ended up going lower anyway. So we're glad we missed that one. The Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is another chart we did not trade. We did do the Nasdaq. And another one, but the main thing here that I want to draw your attention to, again, notice this high point here, notice this lower high point here. Unless it gets shaken off, and it's not doing it right now, we have ourselves another scenario that we're not confident in. We don't like this move here as being sustainable, even though she could press higher. I don't like it. I would take the profits if you're in this, and take your profits and walk away. One more item I want to bring to your attention here regarding the markets here. Whenever you get a big move to the upside like that, and we're seeing good volume on some of these charts, and especially here in the U.S., what we're seeing there could also not just be, or how did I word this? It doesn't necessarily mean that it's an accumulation on a breakout move to the upside. It can actually be high volume selling just by smart money. And I think that's what we have here. You'll notice that we are breaking out on the dollar trend. We talked about this here. The dollar here broke out our stop here, and then had follow through on today's activity, very strong follow through here on good volume in these 2 days here. So what we're actually seeing here are people selling stock at that high levels, and then they're in effect getting dollars when they do that. So that's putting a floor in the dollar and driving it higher. So in fact, I think you should be doing the same, taking profits in the market and walking away. The last item I want to bring to your attention, really the last, would be the Russell 2000 small cap index. So this one we did trade to the long on the long side. Up here looking for a test of the previous high. We got that 2 days ago. You should have exited there if you didn't, and you were waiting for that much more. You should have at least been advancing your stop. Your stop should be super tight right now, looking for any little hint of downside movement to get you out of this market. Even if you got a breakout here and it would take you higher, I don't think you're going to see confirmation by the ultimate oscillator like I've been showing you with all those other charts, and that's just going to continue this basic story, which I'm not a fan of at this point. So I would just walk away from these charts. I don't like what I'm seeing here. Again, note the resistance line here. It's been very strong. We hit it once, ricocheted off of it, ran up there again, hit it again, failed, hit it a third time, failed, went lower, closed below the 50-day moving average, reversed again, hit it, and failed. I don't want any more of this market. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.